The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network. All of the champions of the past, present, and or future. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everybody. My name is Ron Zuckett. Welcome to the program for this 9th day of April, 2025. It's Masters Par 3 Wednesday, a tradition unlike any other. And remember, if you win the Par 3 today, you aren't winning on Sunday. So root for Gary Player, Jack Nicklaus, and all that because they're honorary starters. It is cold here. I believe we had a wind chill this morning at 6 o'clock of 13 degrees on this 9th day of April, 2025. Anyway, to the baseball we go. It is a Saturday afternoon game between the Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians. The Indians continue to lead the American League as we work our way through June. The Red Sox, they're not going to finish in second place. The Yankees will eventually pass them, and probably the Indians maybe as well. But at least on this day, it is the Red Sox in second place, the Indians in first, and my word, we actually have a Ted Williams sighting in left field today. Can you believe it? Willard Nixon gets the call for the Red Sox. Red Sox and Indians from Fenway Park is now. As soon as I get this, it's Retro Sports Network presents Major League Replay 1956. Today, from Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts, it is the Boston Red Sox and the Cleveland Indians. And today's game is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. How you doing, Paul? Willard Nixon versus Dumbo Don Mossy on the hill. This is game 52 for Cleveland and 52 for Boston on this gorgeous June 13th. 73 degrees. Winds are blowing off the train tracks. There's no pike in 56. At 7 miles an hour left to right. Nixon, he's the one for Boston today, making his sixth start of 22. He is 2-2 with a 5.85 ERA. 28 years old, fastball at 85. How you doing, Brent? And a ground ball pitcher, a splinter sighting. Yep. Trying to stay warm. Is that your Fenway? That is gorgeous. That really is a nice shot of Fenway Park. Nixon, his last time out was against the White Sox on June 8th. So 5 days ago, it was enough for me to choke on. In a 5-3 win, Willard went 9 innings, 137 pitches, 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Overall for Nixon, 40 innings, 45 hits, 31 runs, 26 earned, 5 home runs. He has walked 14 and struck out 18. And if you were with us the other day, we have patched the game. This should not be Waka-Palooza. Waka-Palooza sounds like something the Fozzie Bear would say, right? Waka-Palooza. Anywho, here's a lineup for the Indians. Al Smith leads off in right. Chico Carrascal is at short. He'll bat second. Al Rosen is at third. He'll bat third. Vic Wertz cleans up at first. Sam Mealy in left will bat fifth. Jim Busby in center goes sixth. George Strickland, playing his fifth game or the fourth game of the year, is at second. He'll bat seventh. Jim Hegan behind the plate batting eighth. And Don Mossy, who looks so happy to be anywhere, on the mound batting ninth. Nixon, he can give you 150 pitches. Defensively for Boston, Ted Williams, wonder who he is. He's a 4 and a 4 and left. Jimmy Pearsall is a 9 and an 8 in center. And Jackie Jensen is a 7 and a 7 in right. So Pearsall's range and arm kind of cover for the weakness. I mean, Williams was never great defensively. Billy Klaus, Santa's brother, is a 6 at third. Don Button is a 6 and a 7 at short. Ted Lepsio is a 5 and an 8 in second. Dick Gernert, who has played a lot of left field, is a 5 today at first. Pete Daly is your catcher. He's a 3 and a 4. And Nixon is a 7 on the mound with a 9.74 fielding percentage. Smith at 264, 2 homers, and 25 RBI. No, I'm using the 4-6 update. They got the 401 is the one we used the other day that went for about 9 hours. And I knew there was another patch out, and they're so good at getting them out that I don't always put them in. Although I do download most of them, and Mark Shaw is always nice to tell me about them, Paul. But after that stream the other day, the game was immediately patched, and we ran the next few days with the new patch installed. I mean, we had 4 teams with over 10 walks in one day. No, the 411 was a bad one. There's a link that takes you to the patches that's outside of that, and I wish Dave would be better about that. So Brent DeHart, Mr. Sportsflix, he's doing a Pete Rose at bat by at bat. How you doing that? Career replay. How you doing that one? I know you use a lot of AI. We gave you Smith's numbers. Nixon starts the ball game. Popped up left side. Klaus will make the catch. 1 out. For Carrascal at 232. Chico has 4 homers and 16 RBI. Nixon's pitch. That is past Lepsio in the center. And that's a single for Chico, and that's the first hit of the game. Is there no jerseys? There must be jerseys. There's jerseys. Okay. Al Rosen. The GM is at 225, 4 homers and 24 RBI. So Dave had a patch on those walks, or the excess walks, in a hurry. Using ChatGPT, if you were interested, I can set it up for you. Oh, cool. What are you using it to play, or are you actually using his real-life stuff? Because all those box scores exist through RetroSheet and stuff like that. Pitch to Rosen. There is a line drive center field. Pearsall throws it back in, and it's first and second, 1 out for Vic Wertz, hitting 256, 16 homers, and 41 RBI. So on this 13th day of June, Cleveland at 30-21, and the surprising Red Sox at 29-22. And somewhere in Las Vegas, Bernie Strom is enjoying the fact that the Red Sox are a little more than 6-2 and even. Pitch to Wertz. That is a fly ball, right center. Jensen runs over, will make the catch, and everybody has to go back. Carrascal does not have the speed to go to third, and Jackie has a pretty good arm. Let's go Sox. Ah, yes. John didn't join us yesterday when it was the Dodgers and the Reds, or Monday. I'm not sure who he'd root, because is he ever going to actively root against the Reds? Mealy at 203 RBI. So Paul found the league in a Slack channel for a replay league. I believe Dave actually put the link in an email a couple days ago. I'm sure you're on their email list. Because it is a pretty critical patch. I mean, if you were with us Monday. 21 walks. Nixon's pitch popped up. Left side. Klaus battles the sun and will make the catch. And that will do. Cleveland 2 hits and they'll leave 2 on. Half an inning in the books. No score. Don Mossy. People Magazine's sexiest man of 1956 takes the hill. He's 27 years old. Fastball at 88 and a ground ball pitcher. Making his second of 3 starts on the year. Having a fantastic year, by the way. 3-0. He wasn't a bad pitcher. He just looks like the loneliest man in America. 3-0 with a 1.35 ERA, making his 13th appearance. He is done for the year September 15th. He last pitched on June 9th, so on 4 days rest, against the Yankees. In a 4-3 win, he went 3 innings. Did we do that game? I might have did that game. 52 pitch. No, it may have been the day before. 52 pitches. He walked 3 and struck out 5. His last start appears to have come again, or his only start, came against Washington on June 3rd. A 6-inning effort where he struck out 10 and got the win in an 11-4 ballgame. 20 innings for Don, 12 hits, 3 runs, all earned. The home run came in that game against Washington. He has walked 8 and struck out 22. Couldn't root against the Reds. That's why I boycotted. Remind me not to ask who you think's going to win the Masters this week, then. That's fine. Don't worry about that. Going to Boston in a couple of weeks, Paul, is hoping to make it to Fenway with your Yankee-loving wife and daughter. They don't play until June, right? I was listening the other day. Sunday, the first game of that doubleheader. I got to say, Will Fleming and Will Middlebrooks are a great pair on the radio. Here's the Red Sox lineup for you. Jimmy Pearsall leads off in center. Billy Klaus at third will bat second. Ted Williams in left will go third. Dick Gernert cleans up today at first. Jackie Jensen in right will go fifth. Is it Lepiso? We'll go Lepsio with that. Ted will play second and bat sixth. Pete Daly behind the plate will go seventh. Don Budden at short goes eighth. And Nixon is the one batting ninth on the mound. Mossy can give you 100 pitches. So this will be a bullpen game for Cleveland for sure. Al Rosen, as we set the Indian defense for you, is a 5 at third. Carrascal is 6 and a 7 at short. George Strickland is a 5 and a 5 at second. Wirtz is a 5 at first. Sam Mealy is a 5 and a 6 in left. Jim Busby a 9 and a 7 in center. I think this was about the time that Colavito got sent down, by the way. And Al Smith a 6 and a 6 in right. Hegan a 9 and an 8 behind the plate, which is very good for a 36-year-old catcher. And Mossy, not a great fielder. He's a 2 with a 947 fielding percentage. Pearsall at 234, a home run and 24 RBI. Mariners are in town. Okay, your wife won't go to the Red Sox-Yankees game regardless of where they play. I got a great story about Red Sox-Yankee games. Pitch to Pearsall. There is a line drive past Strickland into right field for a base hit. So Pearsall will throw it back in. Or Pearsall will take first. For Billy Klaus hitting 276, 3 homers, and 23 RBI. As I've told you before, I worked at a sports store. And we didn't sell sporting goods. We sold memorabilia, jerseys, T-shirts, what have you. And so I had a punk kid. He probably was, UVM frat bro or something like that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. And he said that he was going to go down to Yankee Stadium. This might have even been the old one. So probably pre-2009. And he wanted a Red Sox jersey. Okay, you sure? Yeah, I'm going to go sit in the bleachers and taunt people. I said, I'm not selling you a jersey. I'm not going to be responsible for you getting the crap beat out of you. I'd use another word besides that, but children might watch at some point. And he looked at me and said, no, really, I'm going to go do that. I said, I'm not going to be responsible for you getting the crap beat out of you. I don't know if he went to Olympia and bought his jersey, but I wasn't responsible for the crap being beaten out of him. Pitch to Klaus. That is off the mound. Carrascal, Strickland for 1. No throw. Oh, there is a throw, but it's late. Did that catch Mossy? No. It hit Mossy in the glove, and it bounced right to Carrascal, who was going to second for a double play chance. He moved over back to his right towards third, was able to make the play, and they got the force at second. That's a mouthful and a half. 1 out for Williams. Ted, it's the first time in a long time we've done Ted Williams ball game. At 312, 7 homers, and 18 RBI. How you doing, Big Dave? Yeah, it's cold in Rochester. You had snow flurries. It would snow yesterday. We had an inch on the ground. It melted while I was gone, but yeah. 14 in Hot Sarah this morning. It's 33 in town now, but when I woke up at 6, the wind chill was 13 degrees. Pitch to Williams. Struck him out. Mossy got him on a full count fastball, and Ted just glares. Here's Dick Gernert. Dick at 308, 8 homers and 32 RBI. When my when Sarah and I got together, the first Red Sox Yankee game that year that she watched was at the stadium in New York, and trying to get some sense of the insanity that those two teams bring against each other. Some idiot delayed the game when he jumped on the screen behind home plate. You know how they have the netting above this, not only to protect you from the seats, but above and attached to the building itself, so you don't get a foul ball that drops on you in those good seats. So some drunken idiot in a Yankee jersey, you know, I say that because he was just a drunken idiot. Doesn't matter who was rooting for. Sat there and delayed the game as he's hanging on the screen, laying up on top of it, and having a good old time as every TV camera in the city of New York was focused on him. And then New York's finest took him to a drunk tank, I'm sure. Pitch to Gernert is ball 4. So first and second now. You remember that? All right, so here's how Brett's doing this. I take Pete's yearly totals to make a D100 table using his percentages. Copy and paste retro sheet information in a chat GPT. Most of the time it follows the prompt and works great. Marty Brenneman is the voice. That's cool. Brent is our community leader in AI. His boxing style. He's the one that used me as an AI voice to call a game a replay. And I got to tell you, it was one of the most scariest things I'd ever seen. Jackie Jensen at 303, 11 homers, and 47 RBI. Jensen in the left center field. Back goes Mealy and Busby. High off the wall. Klaus will score. Gernert scores. Jensen digging for 3 to throw to Rosen. Not in time. That hit high off the wall and then bounced away from Busby. It took one of those Fenway Park Thomas English Muffins nooks and crannies bounces. And Jensen now has a 10-game hitting streak as he clears the bases. Here's Ted, the other one. He's hitting .255, 2 homers, and 6 RBI. That is cool. To which? Me calling the game in replay or Brent stuff? The boxing stuff he was doing was great. Remember watching him argue with the virtual version of Al Bernstein. Pitch to Ted. There is a ground ball past Strickland. Jensen's going to score on the single. And Lepsio is on, and it's 3-0 Boston in the first. Ron's voice doing it was my voice doing a replay. Brent probably can put that on for you. I forgot what it was, but it was replay. Pete Daly at 270, a homer and 6 RBI. And Jeremiah says, I'm still using the toy from our childhood where you pulled the string for the animal sounds. It's the only AI I have. I've seen how those work. There are videos on YouTube that show you the inside, and it pretty much is a heavy-duty plastic record. And so when you turn the knob for the cow goes sound, it literally puts that needle on the groove for the and when you pull it, it just plays the record. So it is, by the way, if you're interested in hearing AI me as opposed to real me, excuse me, PC Replay Baseball 1975 Cardinals and Mets featuring cloned RSN's Ron Juckett. You should have done 77 because that was the first year I went to a ball game, was 77. Daly at the plate, 3-0 Boston. Slow chopper foul first base side. And Wirtz will flip it up in the seats, and somebody from Beverly made that play. 1-2 the count. 2 out here in the bottom of the first. Mossy deals. And strike 3, so Mossy strikes out 2, but along the way allows 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors. After 1, it's taking us 20 minutes to play an inning, Ron. Shut up. 3-0 Boston. Jeremiah unsubs. Ron, you just spoiled the magic. Your life will never be the same. There's the bullfrog. The bullfrog goes. Are we sure this is the real Ron Juckett? No, and you shouldn't be. It'll be Busby, Strickland, and Hegan to face Nixon here in the second. Jim at 261, 8 homers, and 26 RBI. And because we're all old enough, I'm not live, I'm not AI, I'm Memorex. Busby drops one down. Daly throws to second, covering at first. Lepsio is there, and there's one out. So the bunt doesn't work. George Strickland at 364 and 2 RBI on the year. He's 4 for 11. He draws the walk. Nixon didn't like that call. So 1 out, first walk for Willard. Here's Hegan at 206, 2 homers, and 11 RBI. That is a ground ball to second. Lepsio to Budden for 1, or Budden over to Gernert. I know I can pronounce that one right, and it's a 4-6-3 double play. We've played an inning and a half. No runs, no hits, nobody left on after bottom of the second. Now, Boston 3, Cleveland nothing. Did you know, speaking of toys and records, Don Budden at 296, 4 homers and 29 RBI, that one of those versions of the Monday Night Football talking football game was Dick Enberg. And if you let the batteries run down, you could figure out what play was coming. Pitch. There is a ground ball to Strickland. George on 2 hops over to Wirtz for the out. Andrew says, put tape over the tabs on the cassette so you could record over what was there. Honey, what happened to my Engelbert Humperdinck cassette? I don't know, homie. Willard Nixon at 2 for 13 on the replay, 154, 2 runs scored, and he's walked twice and struck out 3 times. Whenever Parallel League says he's taping a game, the young guys I work with laugh at that. Oh, yeah, well, you say tape and film all the time. I haven't used real film anywhere in 1,000 years. I found an old Memorex tape of me doing a 1987 Windows Baseball All-Star game. That's cool. You got to post that one, Brent. There's a ground ball again to Strickland. Second verse, or Brett, same as the first, 2 out. Had your voice changed? Those are the tapes I never want found. I'm sure my mother still has them. Hi, Rod Zecker here. Welcome to the ballpark. Go ahead. Good. Yeah, embarrassing is the right word. Go ahead. Get an AI out of my voice at 13. Pearsall singled his first time up. Mossy, opening 9, 35 pitches, inning and 2/3, 3 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. And I can safely say, after he looked at that 1-2 at the belt, that fear does indeed strike out. After 2, no runs, no hits, no errors. It is Boston 3, Cleveland nothing. Yep, Warner Wolf. Let's go to the videotape. Bossy, by the way, 0 for 2. He's walked and struck out in the replay. The first year of Monday Night Baseball, the main crew was Bob Prince, Warner Wolf. I don't think it was Euchre. There was a third voice there. And they didn't even make it to the playoffs. That's how bad they were. Pitch to Mossy. Struck him out. So Nixon got him to swing on a 1-2. Opening 9 for Willard. 28 pitches, 2 1/3, 2 hits, a walk, and a strikeout. Smith is 0 for 1. Wolf was pretty good, but Prince, who had been fired by the Pirates, didn't know any of the American League teams, didn't care to know any of the American League teams. If you've watched the infamous Fidrich against the Yankee game, that is Bob Prince and Warner Wolf, and I can't remember the third, but they tried the 3-man booth. It wasn't Cosell. Jeremiah knew what I was thinking. When I sing you to sleep after the lovin'. I'm not touching any more of that song. Yeah, Warner Wolf was also an announcer in one of the Rocky movies. He was one of Imus's sidekicks, too. Pitch to Smith. There's a fly ball left field. Williams goes back, makes the catch, and there's 2 out for Carrasquel, who singled his first time up. And Brent and I would say, well, thanks for taking those tapes on a one-way trip to the sun where they deserve to get burned. Carrasquel past second into right. That will drop in front of Jensen, and that is a hit. So Chico is 2 for 2. No, they brought Keith in for the playoffs. It was him, Cosell, and I think Euchre that did the... No, it was Tom Seaver who did the American League Championship Series because Jackson's call of Chambliss's home run is stepped all over by Cosell. I think Seaver worth the World Series the next year. It would have been Al Michaels and Wolf on the Cincinnati Philly series. What'd you have for breakfast this morning, Ron? I don't know, but I can tell you who announced a baseball game 49 years ago. Al Rosen singled his first time up. Popped up, button on the dirt, waits for it. Wind blowing in now from left field at 10, and that will do. Cleveland puts up a hit, and they've left on 3. After 2.5, Boston 3, Indians nothing. So Klaus, Williams, and Gernert to face Mossy here in the 3rd. Billy reached and scored on a fielder's choice. The worst TV announcer of all time was him. No, it wasn't. Not even close. Did play-by-play for TV Community College TV. It was basically 24, bringing the ball up the court, passes to 34. If one of my high school games was on the radio, I drove that guy nuts. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I actually called some college basketball. NAIA stuff. Got him. That's 4 for Masio. 1-2. Swung on and missed. 1 out for Williams. Ted struck out his first time up. Only 8 on the year for Ted and 78 at-bats. Right field. Smith. That's a line drive. Is that going to find anything, or is Smith going to get it? Al will come in and make the catch, and there's 2 out. Here's Gernert. Dick walked and scored in the first. The good news is, Brent, it was community college TV, so no one was watching. Line drive to Rosen. Al is there, and that will do. After 3. No runs, no hits, no errors. Red Sox 3, Indians nothing. So Wirtz, Mealy, and Busby here in the 4th. Vic 0 for 1. Popped up. Daly behind the plate. Doffs the mask, makes the catch, and there's 1 out for Mealy, who's 0 for 1. Brett was so bad they put him on the team instead. I think I've told you this. My singing voice is so bad that by the 5th grade, they made me the narrator at the Christmas concert, so I wouldn't sing anymore. Did you let Donkey pick out my outfit today? I gotta wait to see for the lag to pass through so I can see what I'm wearing. No, Donkey did not pick out my outfit today. See? Socks, pants, button-up shirt, no sequins, no pink. Now back to the game. The other day, I post something funny on Facebook every day as a status, and it was a picture of, must have been an AI picture of Shrek in some pink sequin dress number there, and I forget what the original caption was, but I wrote, "This is what you get for letting Donkey dress you." Pitch to Mealy. There's a ground ball to second. Lepsio is there. He'll flip it to Gernert, and that's an out. And pink lipstick. I didn't notice that. 2 out for Busby, who was 0 for 1. We try to do something funny every day. There's a ground ball to Nixon. Willard, first base side of the rubber, throws to first, and that will do. The Retro Sports Polo shirt. There you go. I don't even know the words. I can't even. If I don't know the words, I can't sing it. After 3.5, it is the Red Sox 3, the Indians nothing. This game has got a Thursday feel on a Wednesday. Here are the standings for you. In the National League, the Braves, not the Brewers, Ron, the Braves lead the Dodgers by 2, the Reds by 7, and the Cardinals by 8. Brooklyn won their game Friday night 11-8. Milwaukee beat Philadelphia 5-3, so both teams won. In the American League, Cleveland by 1 over Boston, 2.5 over the White Sox. The Yankees are now 4 over 500. They're trailed by 2.5. Tigers over 500. Baltimore hanging in there. Washington, okay, it's over. And Lenny Dawson can't get to Kansas City fast enough. Red Sox as a team hitting .271, second in the American League. Cleveland leads the AL ERA at .334, and second in fielding at .977. Red Sox won last night 4-2, and Cleveland on Thursday beat the Red Sox 4-3 and 11. Al Smith with a 4-hit effort. Jackie Jensen tripled his first time up and is now driven in 49. It's only Wednesday. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, this one has the, you could always tell in the reruns when the match game was a Friday show because they were quite looped by then. Yeah, this has that feel to it. Pitch to Jensen. There's a line drive, a ground ball past Rosen. No, he got a glove on it, but it ate him up, and now makes his 7th error of the year. So Jensen's on, nobody out with the error as we play the bottom of the 4th. Lepsio singled and had an RBI. What happened after that was normally if I have to sim a bunch of games, I'll just do it right after we're done. So I'm set and ready to go. But I stopped after that and patched up the game and then did the sim to get me through. And yeah, no more 10-walk games. We had 21 walks in that stream. Pitch to Lepsio. Draws a walk, just as we say that. So first and second, Red Sox, if they win this one, will be tied with the Indians at 30-22. Pete Daly struck out his first time up. That is going to be past Strickland into right field for a base hit. Smith will pick it up. Jackie is going to try and score. Smith goes to the plate. The throw to Hegan. Jensen is safe. 4-0 Boston. So the Red Sox looking good here. Here's Button. Don is 0 for 1. How do you install the patch? Okay, so what you do is when you go to unzip it, it goes into your programs x86 folder, and then in this case, you click again on the baseball 2025 or however you have it installed. No, that's why the patch was released, because people have gotten to them about the walks. And override it, but you got to do it as an admin. So once you do it once, it works the same for all the games. So programs x86, game in question for him, it'll overwrite the executive file there, so the main application, and you're good to go. If it was George Hendrick, I would have paid him myself. There you go. So all is good with that. Pitch to Button. From Mossy. That is a ground ball to Carrascal. Might be 2. Nope, they're going to try for Button at first, and he's out. So the other runners move up 90, 1 out for Nixon. No, I mean, no, you just unzip it right into wherever you have the game installed. Not the data folder, but where the game itself is installed, That's where you put the file. And you unzip it directly into that. Nixon's 0 for 1. Willard pops it up. Hegan makes the catch behind the plate, 2 out. So here's Pearsall. Jimmy 1 for 2 with a single and a strikeout. Mossy, 18 batters, 61 pitches, 3 2/3, 4 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Paul has it in the chat, right where that should go, if that's where you installed it. So if you installed it to where Paul told you, that's directly where it goes. You don't need to monkey around with anything else. It'll overwrite it. And one of the genius things about the Cook games is all the data and pictures and all that are in their own separate folder. So it doesn't monkey around with any of that. And John, just shoot me a message if that doesn't work. Pitch to Pearsall. Jimmy, right field. Smith, crowd likes it, continuing to go back. Smith retreating, will make the catch, and that will do. Red Sox get a run on a hit and an error, and after 4, my Sox bias is showing 4-0 Boston. So Strickland, Hegan, and Mossy to face Nixon here in the 5th. George walked his first time up. This time it's a ground ball to first. Gernert has it, underhands it to Nixon. Oh, takes it himself for the out. I think Nixon was a little tardy getting to the bag. Nope, he did throw it to Nixon. So 3-1 on the putout. 1 out for Hegan, who grounded into a double play his first time up. That's in the left field, drop in front of Teddy Ballgame, and that's a single. So the 4th hit for Cleveland. Both teams have 4 hits. Mossy is struck out his first time up. 0 for 1. Bunt situation here. Gernert and Klaus come in. Mossy swings up the middle. Lepsio, Budden for 1. Gernert for 2. So Lepsio is going to go to first on the bunt and realize that Mossy was never intending to bunt, and the double play ends the inning. It's cold in Green Bay here. 33 degrees on this 9th day of April in Burlington, halfway home, 4-0 Boston. I got busy reading the chat and forgot to set this up. Join the slate, 4 runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Red Sox. Cleveland, no runs, 4 hits, and an error. Red Sox sent 7 to the plate in the first. Jackie Jensen now has a 10-game hitting streak. 2-run triple cleared the bases to make it 2-0. Then Ted Lepsio, an RBI single to make it 3-0. In the 4th, Pete Daly singled home Jackie Jensen to make it 4-0. So Don Mossy, 4 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4. Nixon, 5 innings, 4 hits, a walk, and a strikeout in this one. Mossy out by an error. Yeah, it's a great design with the data separate. And John says the manual could be a little clearer with that. The manuals probably need to be redone, because some of them are quite old. I'm sure it's just a question of manpower and decisions. I mean, these games are getting updated all the time. Billy Klaus is 0 for 2. He has struck out and scored a run. How you doing, P-Jet? Klaus, a ground ball to second. Strickland has it, throws to Wirtz for the out. Yeah, Steve Tate's stuff is tremendous, and he and Bernie and some others run a series of draft leagues, too. And you can find that stuff on Steve's YouTube channel and Bernie's YouTube channel. Ted Williams is 0 for 2 with a K. Fly ball, right field. That's well hit. Back goes Smith, and that ball is off the wall. Williams hit that on a bounce, and Ted has his 8th double of the year. It looked almost to be gone, and that'll do it for Mossy. Ray Narleski, he's gnarly, dude, will come in to pitch. We got a pitching change. This game coming to you from Fenway Park in Boston. So Narleski, 1-0, a 3.78 ERA, making his 14th appearance. He can go 35 pitches and might get one time through the lineup. 28 years old, fastball at 86, and a fastball pitcher. And a ground ball pitcher. He pitched against the Yankees on the 8th 5 days ago, 3 2/3, in an 8-2 loss, 58 pitches, 3 hits, an earned run. He walked 2 and struck out 3. Overall, 16 2/3, 10 hits, 7 runs, all earned, 9 walks, and 17 strikeouts. So Gernert has walked and scored. He's 0 for 1. The good thing, John, is that what is good for one game of Cook's will work for all of the games except for golf. Gernert, that is up the middle. Strickland will snare it, throws to Wirtz for the out, and Ted goes to third. 2 out for Jackie Jensen, who had a bases-clearing triple in the first, his 4th of the year, and has now driven in 49. Runner goes, ground ball to Strickland. Waits for it, throws to first, and Jensen is retired. Red Sox threaten, but they do not score. They do get a hit, and they've left on 4. That almost sounds like a song. After 5, Boston 4, Cleveland nothing. So top of the lineup to face Nixon here in the 6th. Smith 0 for 2. Nixon, 18 batters, 52 pitches, 5 hits, 4 runs, a walk, and a strikeout. Popped it up. Jensen, that's more than a pop-up. That's a high fly ball, but Jackie has it corralled. 1 out. Carrasquel has singled twice. He has half of Cleveland's hits. And he walks. So Carrasquel having himself a day. I read last night, we've gone through one of the 3 holiday doubleheaders, and I got to pick out my games for July 4th. And, of course, doubleheaders on Labor Day, which, as we know, was September 5th every year. That 1956, because of television and declining attendance and night games, was the last year of the guaranteed holiday doubleheaders. Al Rosen 1 for 2 with a single. A variety of different factors, let alone the fact that bullpens were starting to become a thing by the mid-50s. And you're playing a doubleheader on Sunday and then a doubleheader on Wednesday, as we did for Memorial Day, and you are just trashing your rotation, at least in a computer game. Pitch to Rosen. That is up the middle. Pearsall will grab it. Carrasquel holds at second, and the Indians have first and second, 1 out for Wirtz, who is 0 for 2. Not who the Red Sox want to be facing. They lead this one 4-0 here, 1 out in the 6th. Wirtz gets hit. So the bases are loaded, 1 out, as Nixon got him in the ribs. On a 2-2, that was not intentional, although Sam Mealy is not going to be confused with Rocky Colavito. Sam is 0 for 2 today. Cat is having a word with me. Mealy, line drive to Button, and everybody's got to get back. Nobody can move. Well done. Here's Busby. He's 0 for 2. Both teams have 5 hits. Red Sox lead at 4-0. Top of the 6th. That's in the right. That's past second base. Jensen will grab it. Carrasquel will score. The throw to the plate is going to be safe. Rosen slid under the tag, and it's a 2-run ball game. So Cleveland gets on the board. It's 4-2. So here's Strickland, who is 0 for 1 with a walk. Wirtz on second, Busby on first. 2 out, top of the 6th. Daly reminds Nixon, we're winning this game. Nixon says, okay. In the center, in the right center, Pearsall moving over, makes the catch, and that will do. However, the Indians, 2 runs, 2 hits. They've left on 5, and they've made this a 4-2 ball game. So Lepsio, Daly, and Budden to face Narleski here in the 6th. Be Ray's last inning, you would think. He is due up second in the 7th. Ted has a single, an RBI, and a walk. He's 1 for 1. That's a base hit left center field. That will hit the wall, but pounds off that aluminum right in the waiting glove of Mealy. And Ted is held with a single. A little higher, that would have been a Wade Boggs ball. Pete Daly, 1 for 2. Pete has a single, an RBI, and a strikeout. Slow chopper to the mound. Narleski, first base side, throws to Wirtz, and Daly is retired. Ted moves up to second, 1 out for Budden. Don is 0 for 2. Laced into left, Mealy makes the catch. Scouting report hadn't him played perfectly. That was a dewdrop liner that did not drop. So Nixon is up. Willard is 0 for 2. Ground ball to second. Strickland waits for it. Throws to first. And that will do for Boston in the 6th. Red Sox get a hit. They've left on 5. No runs, no errors. We go to the 7th at Fenway. Boston 4, Cleveland 2. So Hegan, pitcher spot, and Smith to face Nixon here in the 7th. And Willard has plenty of that City Services gas left in his tank out there on the scoreboard, or past the scoreboard, past the monster. Hegan, 1 for 2. He has singled and grounded into a double play. That is going to be a base hit. Williams cuts it off, and Hegan has himself a single. So let's see what they do with Narleski. Ray is 0 for 2 with a strikeout on the replay. And Dale Mitchell, who is Don Larson's best friend, will pinch hit. Mitchell will go to Brooklyn at some point. 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter. And 1 for 10 on the replay. He has singled and walked 3 times. 77 degrees. The wind now blowing straight out to center field. The flag blowing out there. That might be 2. Budden steps on second for 1. Throws to Gernert. Double play. 2 out. Thank you, Andrew. Hopefully you are staying warm on this chilly day here in Vermont. Here's Al Smith. He's 0 for 3. Nixon, 27 batters, 89 pitches, 6 2/3, 7 hits. He has walked 2 and struck out 1. And he draws the walk. He was 0 for 3 coming into it. "3-1 was upstairs. Carrasquel has had himself a day. He has singled twice, scored once, and walked. 2 for 2. 2 out, top the 7th. Chico, base hit, left field. Williams will throw it back in. Smith was on the move on contact. Chico has a single, and Smith's on third. So Carrasquel is a tying run, and Rosen, who was 2 for 3 today, is the go-ahead run, and he has scored once. Single twice. Nixon deals. Dropped in front of the plate. That was an excuse me swing. It hit Daly in the shoulder. Daly rubbed some dirt on the jersey. That Wolf's going to feel really good on that bruise, too. And recovers. 1-2 the count, 2 out. Right to short. Budden to second. And that will do. Stretch time 4-2 Boston. The Indians bring in Herb Score, which is an interesting decision considering that Score is a lefty and Fenway Park eats lefties for lunch. Score making his 13th appearance. He's got 23 more starts. He's 5-6. At one point, he had half the Indians' losses. Not anymore. 23 years old. He's won his last 3 decisions, and if he somehow pulled this one off, it would make 4. Fastball at 94. And a fly ball pitcher. He must not be starting for a while because he got the save 4 days ago against the Yankees. 14 pitches and got 2 out with a walk. In fact, he hasn't started a game since June 2nd, it appears. He got the win out of the pen against Baltimore 6-5 on June 7th. So overall for Herb, 79 in the 3rd innings. 57 hits, 33 runs, 29 earned. He's allowed 9 home runs. He has walked 40 and struck out 93. Pearsall, Klaus, and Williams, who I'm not pinch hitting for, are here batting in the 7th. So it was no runs, 2 hits. Indians left on 2, so they've now left on 7 overall. Pearsall 1 for 3 today with a single and a strikeout. And he draws the walk. Fastball at 92. Again, a drop-dead gorgeous day here in Boston, 77 degrees. Flag blown straight out towards Kenmore Square in dead center at 7. Klaus is 0 for 3 with a run scored and a strikeout. Pearsall not a threat to steal. Klaus in the left field. Back goes Mealy, and Sam will corral that one. That one just kind of ran out of real estate. Looked good off the bat, but that was as far as it went. 1 out for Williams. Ted 1 for 3. He has struck out and doubled today. Score throws to first. Pearsall is back. Williams pops it up. Wirtz in the foul territory. That's a rainmaker out there. He drips over, makes the catch. 2 out for Dick Gernert, who was 0 for 1, or 0 for 2 rather, with a walk and a run scored. Brent secretly taping me for my next version of my AI voice. Pitch to Gernert. There is a line drive to Strickland, and George will make the catch. Red Sox get nothing. No runs, no hits. They've left on 6 now after 7. Boston 4, Cleveland 2. So Wirtz, Mealy, and Busby to face Nixon here in the 8th. Don't know if he'll give Willard the complete game. Pitch count-wise, he's fine, but he has struggled. Well, struggled in the 6th. Wirtz into right center. Jensen going back. That's well hit, and that is gone. It's a 4-3 ball game. So Wirtz smashes one in the bullpen, and it's now a 4-3 Boston lead. For Vic, that's number 17, and he's driven in 42. Meatball over the plate. Quick question from Danny. I'll give you a quick answer in a moment. And all Jensen could do was turn and watch it go. For Mealy, who's 0 for 3. Okay, quick question. Never seen this game. What is it? Don't mean the baseball. The program is Action PC Baseball 2025, and it is available from Dave Cook Sports, or DK Sports, shop.dksports.com. You're welcome. Mealy up the middle. Nixon has it over to Gernert for the out. I forget what the first year of the game is. I mean, the changes, it's an annual release. The changes appear to be incremental, but if you went back and used the game from like 3 or 4 years ago, it would be so foreign. Jim Busby's 1 for 3. He has singled and driven in 2. It is a great game. Busby drops one down. Daly throws to Lepsio covering, and Busby is out on the bang-banger. 2 out. For Strickland, who's 0 for 2 with the walk. Danny, he also has a basketball game, a football game, and a hockey game. And the basketball and football games, and the hockey game, I guess, if someone made the set, can be used for both college and professional. And there are always sales, and they're very affordable. Pitch to Kenny Kuhn. Oh, that's right, because I'm playing. So we're going to have a pinch hitter, Kenny Kuhn. Any relation to Bowie? Kenny is 19. Oh, he's 19 years old. He does not have a pinch hit. He's 0 for 3. On the replay, a walk and a strikeout. In real life, 273, no homers, and 2 RBI. You're welcome. Pitch to Kenny. Little ground ball down to Gernert. Dick waits for it. And Kenny won't get his first hit here on the channel. No, 1 run, however, on a solo homer from Vic Wirtz. That was the lone hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th here at Fenway Park. Boston 4, Cleveland 3. And my play-by-play does not come with the game. Jackie Jensen is 1 for 3 this afternoon. He does have a bases-clearing triple in the first and has scored twice. So Jensen, Lepsio, and Daly to face score here in the 8th. Nixon would be due up 5th in the inning. Fly ball, left field. Mealy, 1 out. So here's Ted. Ted has singled twice, driven in a run and walked. Uh-oh. John says he discovered this game because of me. I told the story before. He was pre-playing the 29. Has it been that long? 6 years, the 2019 World Series, and you Googled predictions, and you were hooked. All of his games do have a card and dice feel, I think. And the community is tremendous with mods and logos and ballparks and all that. Pitch to Ted. Got him. Score, struck him out. An 0-2 off-speed pitch on the outside corner. And if you have the pictures, you can see the card. Funny thing, you weren't looking for Sims. You were just, oh, really? Just looking for prognostications? You mean these cards right here? This is talking about stuff that's new in the last couple of years. Just lays everything out. And we'll tell you right now that Pete Daly is at the plate. And I'll tell you, Pete's 1 for 3. A single, an RBI, and a strikeout. Now, you were playing Strat, though, right? You're not new to Strat. John. Pitch to Daly. Got him. Score, strikes out 2. No runs, no hits, and no errors. We go to the 9th. Cleveland 1 to tie and 2 to go ahead. So, Nixon will try to get the complete game. Mr. Gus over here, I believe he's the one that's done, yeah, the card look is great, Jeremiah, in it. A lot of homebrews, too. Some PCL seasons, especially older ones. Keegan is 2 for 3. His single twice and grounded into a double play. Right back to Nixon. Third base side. Throws to first, 1 out. For Herb Score, if they let him hit, and they really shouldn't, 5 for 25 on the replay. He's hitting 200 with a double and 3 RBI. AI is pretty good. And it's hard to get AI right in any sports game. Been playing for a bit more of Strat baseball for the 41 season. I enjoy it, but it's not as good as action. You strictly cards and dice Strat. Hadn't even played a desktop in 5 years. Wow. Voice. for the super chat, Brent. Voice licensing fee. Okay, I'm a sucker for that. Did I get it? Did I get the like there? I'm now going to appear in people's nightmares. Ground ball base hit. Who can hit a lefty? Let's see what they do is score. Rocky Colavito will pinch hit. Rocky, as a pinch hitter, 250 with an RBI. All right. Go Indians. We're with you tomorrow night at 7. Tomorrow night at 7 is the next game. Colavito at 303, 10 homers and 24 RBI. 1 out. Nobody on, 9th inning. Colavito, shallow left center. Pearsall coming in. Last chance saloon. So 2 out for Al Smith. Nixon has gone the route. 4 times through, 36 batters, 124 pitches. 8 2/3, 9 hits. The home run was Ward's. He's walked 3 and struck out 1. And I suppose if Nixon can get this last out, he's your digital dice MVP. He would be a 3-game winner. Smith is 0 for 3 with a walk. Thanks for the voice licensing fee. You are welcome. Pitch to Smith. Right center. Back goes Pearsall to the wall. Game over. On the track, pats the wall, and the Red Sox win it. So 2 hours and 16 fake minutes. 4 runs, 6 hits, no errors for Boston. They are now in a flat-footed tie with Cleveland at 30 and 22. They leave on 6. Cleveland, 3 runs, 9 hits, an error, and they left on 7. Nixon goes the distance, 9 innings, 9 hits, 3 runs, all earned. The home run to Wirtz. He walked 3 and struck out 1. You'd pick the right team and didn't bet any money. See? Yeah, there you go. Don Mossy takes the loss. He goes to 3 and 1. That's his last start of the year, I think. 4 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned. He walked 2 and struck out 4 on 72 pitches. Narleski, an inning and 2/3, a hit, and that's it. And then Herb Score coming in out of the pen, 2 innings, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So for the moment, the Red Sox and the Indians are 6-2 and even. They are 30 and 22. They are, both tied for first place in the American League, with Chicago and the Yankees 2 back, and the Tigers 3.5. The rest, it's a Wednesday game, that's why. Really, a Wednesday afternoon game. The rest of this Wednesday in baseball for you. Baltimore beats Detroit 2-1. Lowe's 1-0. Paul Foytak falls to 5-3. Zuberink picks up his 6th save. The White Sox beat up on the Yankees 8-3 at the stadium. Keegan goes to 4-2. Don't know if Peel was there. Ralph Turley falls to 2-3. Minnie Minoso hits his 10th, drives in 3, goes 1 for 4. Giants beat the Cubs 3-2 at Wrigley. Willie Mays hits his 16th. He goes 3 for 4 with a triple. Hearn 3-4. Bob Rush falls to 5-5. Washington doubles up KC 4-2. Ramos 2-3. Art Ditmar falls to 5-8. Who needs a DH? Ramos 2 for 3, 2 RBI and a triple. Matt. Last but not least, Phillies 3, Braves 1. Robin Roberts goes to 4-7. Crone falls to 3-3. Lapata 1 for 4, hits his 11th, and drives in 2. And we're with you tomorrow night, 7 Eastern Time, 4 Pacific. The games of June 15th, it'll be the Milwaukee Braves and the Brooklyn Dodgers from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. Lou Burdett and Sal the Barber Magley. Until then, I'm Ron Juckett. Thank you so much for watching. We'll talk to you tomorrow night. That's a night game because I got a meeting. Until then, have a great day, everybody.